Hello you lovely people and welcome. Today I'll be doing a cold start demo in the Iris Simulations T6 Texan 2. Now I made a big boo-boo in my review video because I thought we were just getting the Charlie variant, which was the Texan T1, which is export. But I don't know how I missed it, but I did. But we've got the Bravo variant as well. Now I'm just going to show you the liveries that you get for that, and then we'll get on with the video. But you get the VT3 Red Knights, VT2 Doer Birds, US Air Force Trainer Colours, United States Air Force 33rd FTS, Royal New Zealand Air Force. Didn't know they had the Bravo version. Fuerza Aeronaval, Fuerza Aérea Mexicana, the Israeli Air Force, I believe that is, Aerobatic Team, the NFTC, and Iris Demonstrator. Big apologies for that. I've had a look in the internals, they're exactly the same. So basically all you're getting is subtle, I think it's just a designation difference. All the internals are the same, externals look the same, just different liveries. So going to go back to the T1, and I'm going to use a random 72 Squadron aircraft, and we'll do a cold start ramp from Coningsby. Let's start by switching the battery switch on. We're going to connect the ground power. It's not essential, but I'm doing it as a purpose of the before engine start checks. Next we'll do a freedom of movement on all control surfaces, all good. Next we'll remove the jettison canopy pin, and we're going to do a fire test. Fire test 1, good. Fire test 2, good. And we were looking at the fire button here for that. Next we'll do a lamp test, and we'll switch that on. Gear lights are on, and all the cautions and fire lights are on. That's all good. Next we'll make sure the flaps are in the up position, check. External lights are off, check. The trim disconnect is in the norm, check. Trim aid is off, check. And then we're going to make sure that the emergency gear extension handle is in and stowed. It's not clickable, but part of the checks anyway. Next we'll do generator switch, make sure that's off, check. We're going to make sure that the fuel balance is in auto, check. Manual fuel balance is off. The avionics master is off, check. Bus tie in norm, check. Probes anti-ice off, check. Boost pumps armed, check. And the PMU switch is in the norm, check. Make sure that the blower is as required. Not requiring that at the moment. Air conditioning switches, so that is off, check. Bleed air inflow is off, check. Pressurization, we can't do anything with that. And then the RAM airflow is off, or as required, check. Okay, so now we can move on to our actual engine start. So before the engine start can begin, we need to close the canopy and make sure that it's locked with this tiny little switch here. Next we are going to change our screen here to ICAS. Okay, and now we will switch on our anti-collisions and nav lights to the on position, give the ground crew a bit of warning that we are about to start up. We're going to switch the PCL into auto start, and then we're going to switch the auto start button into auto start reset, and you'll see that we will start getting oil pressure, oil temperature. We're getting some turbine temperature there, hydraulic pressures coming online, Our N1 is going up. We have no torque at the moment. Okay, and that needs to settle at around about 60%. Okay, we're in the green, so that's good. Good engine start. So come out of ICAS and go to config, and now we're going to disconnect ground power, and now we can get onto the before taxi checks. So I'm going to switch on the generator switch, and then we're going to put on our auxiliary battery switch to on, bleed air inflow to norm. Okay, and evap blower as required, as with the air conditioning as well. We'll switch that on just in case we fog up. Now we can switch on the avionics master switch, and we'll just wait for that to properly boot up and align. We'll do an O-bogs check on flaps check, so we're going to cycle all the way to landing, leave it to take off. Speed brake check. No, we can't do that at the moment as we're waiting for our indicators to come online here. Okay, and we can do the trim aid switch to on. Okay, nose wheel steering on, and we look for that. The indicator for that is on the PFD here. No, not PFD, sorry. ICAS. And if I activate nose wheel steering, you can see that the nose wheel steering is on now. Okay, parking brake release. We'll do a brake check. And switch on our taxi light as well. Okay, brakes are good. Okay, and I believe that is all of the checks over and done with. We can make our way down to the end of the runway. So we'll just make sure that everything is dialed out and zeroed out. I'm gonna dial the brightness down on that to 15% because, let's face it, it's way too bright. Okay, so that's a bit more readable, and we're going to zero that out and get our QFE from that. Okay, so we are 1009er. Yeah, 1009er. And we do need to zero out this one here. And we can set that here to 1009er. And there we go. So both altimeters are zeroed out, and we're good to go. So let's taxi down. Don't need a lot of throttle applied for this. Bit differential braking if you're not getting round quick enough. Okay, so we're just going to make sure that everything is in the green and all is good to go. We're going to advance the PCL into the idle mode. Okay, and we've got freedom of movement there, which is good. Right, okay, flaps are to take off, and we're going to make our way out to the runway. Okay, we're going to switch the landing lights on. So twitchy. Okay, brakes on. Right, one final check before we take off. All is good. Okay, throttle up. Rotate. Gear up. Flaps up. Trim out. Okay, it's a tad windy today. As you can see, I'm being blown all over the place. Okay, so that's cold start in the Iris Simulations Beechcraft T6 Bravo / Charlie Texan 2 Texan T1. So hopefully you've got something from that. Yeah, so take care, and as always I will catch you in the next one.